Her smartwatch lit up at 2:11 a.m. Then a quiet giggle. I wasn't asleep. Just lying there, staring at the ceiling, when I caught the soft buzz from her wrist. She was facing away from me, and the screen glowed just long enough for me to catch the name, speech balloon. Then darkness. She sighed and rolled over. Never noticed I was awake. Something snapped in me. We'd been married nearly 30 years. 2 grown kids. Quiet suburban home, morning coffee routines, backyard barbecues. On the surface, we looked solid. But lately, something had shifted in her. And I hadn't wanted to admit it. Late shifts at the clinic that never used to happen. A new haircut. Perfume I didn't recognize. And a laugh, light, giddy, I hadn't heard from her in over a decade. But now it slipped out when she thought no one was listening. The next morning, I made the coffee. She barely spoke. Said the scheduling system crashed again and she had to get in early. She grabbed her travel mug, kissed me quickly, and rushed out the door. I stood there, mug in hand, stomach hollow. By lunchtime, I couldn't shake it. I opened my laptop and logged into our shared cloud account. Something I had set up years ago to sync photo backups. She'd forgotten all about it. In the archive, buried among mundane files, were screenshots. Messages from a chat app. And not just casual ones, these were filled with emotion. Flirting. Private jokes. References to past meetings. One message stood out, starred and saved. Your scent's still on me. Haven't washed the hoodie yet, kiss mark. The grey hoodie. The one she'd been wearing around the house for weeks. Cooking in it. Driving in it. Curling up on the couch in it. My wife. The mother of my children. I shut the laptop. Then I opened it again. Started reading more. Message timestamps matched up with every single emergency shift she'd claimed to have. It wasn't just one lie, it was a routine. Rehearsed. Repeated. And in that moment, something in me hardened. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to sit in the ashes of a marriage she burned down. She wanted a secret? Good. Let's see how many I could keep too. I was going to end this on my terms. The next few days, I played dumb. I kissed her goodbye. I listened to her stories about long meetings and staffing chaos. I nodded. I even brought her coffee once while she was getting ready, like it was any normal Tuesday. But every hour, I was watching. I relogged into the cloud account. Downloaded everything. Not just the screenshots, audio messages too. One of them had his voice. Deep. Too casual. You looked unreal in that hoodie today. Kinda wanted to pull you right back into my car. She laughed in the background. Said something I couldn't quite hear. I replayed that line maybe a dozen times. By Wednesday, I had names. Mark Harver. Mid-50s. Worked in operations at the same clinic where she handled staff schedules. Divorced. No kids. I pulled up his picture on the clinic's staff page. Beard. Button-down shirt. That kind of smirking confidence you either earn, or fake. I felt nothing. Just cold, methodical curiosity. That night, she said she was staying late. I followed her. Not close enough to be obvious. Just enough to keep her taillights in view. She turned off the main road, didn't head toward the clinic. Took a side street out past the highway. My chest got tight. I knew this stretch of road. The roadside motel just past the overpass. Sure enough, she pulled in. Parked in back. 5 minutes later, a silver sedan rolled up. Mark. I stayed in my car across the road, lights off. Watched them meet at her trunk. He kissed her neck like it was routine. She touched his chest. They walked into the front office together. I didn't follow. Didn't need to. I sat in silence for half an hour. No rage. No panic. Just numb strategy. Then I drove home. The next morning, I left early. Took a detour past the motel. Snapped a photo of her car in the lot. She texted me later, "Sorry I missed your call last night. Crazy hours. Let's do dinner Friday?" I didn't respond. Instead, I ordered 2 hidden devices online, one for her car, one for the house. Motion triggered. Audio capable. Discreet. This wasn't about catching her anymore. It was about building something bulletproof. When the time came, I wouldn't just confront her. I'd bury her with truth. Friday night came fast. She put on makeup. Light, but different than usual. A touch of lipstick she hadn't worn in years. Her phone buzzed twice in the hallway while she got dressed. I didn't ask who it was. She smiled at me in the mirror. "Still up for that dinner?" I smiled back. "Absolutely." We drove separately. Her excuse? She had an early morning meeting, might head straight there. I agreed, calmly. I knew where she was going. She thought she was clever. I arrived at the diner first. Sat near the window. Ordered coffee. Waited. 6:10 p.m., no sign of her. 6:25, I texted, "All good?" 6:32, no reply. I already knew. While I waited, I pulled up the car tracker I installed in her sedan earlier in the week. One tap, and the map confirmed it. She wasn't at the diner. She was at the motel. Again. I didn't go there. Not this time. Instead, I went home and opened the cloud feed. The camera in her car had caught everything. The kiss when he got in. The way they laughed about the cover story. The way she said, "He's at the diner eating pancakes. Poor guy still believes I'm his." That line stayed with me. I didn't get mad. I got surgical. Over the next 48 hours, I compiled a file. Screenshots. Timestamps. Audio clips. Her scheduling logs at the clinic cross-referenced with motel check-ins and tracker pings. I even recorded a screen capture of the message where she told him, "Once the house is in my name alone, we can disappear." She wasn't just cheating. She was planning to cut me out. That changed everything. Sunday night, I set the bait. I printed one message. Folded it. Left it on her pillow. Went to bed early. Pretended to sleep. She came in after midnight. Lights off. I felt her freeze when she picked up the note. No words. She just sat there for 10 minutes. Breathing. Then she climbed into bed without touching me. I knew what that meant. She was about to run damage control. By Monday morning, she was suddenly sweet again. Made coffee. Kissed my cheek. Asked about my week like it hadn't been lit on fire by her betrayal. It was all a performance, but I let it play out. I wasn't ready to drop the curtain yet. At lunch, she texted. "Thinking of you. Let's take a weekend trip soon?" I stared at the message. Didn't reply. Instead, I drove to the clinic. I didn't go in. Just parked across the lot, engine off. Watched. At 4:42 p.m., Mark walked out. Alone. I followed him, not aggressively, just at a distance. He went to the bank. I took a mental note. Then to a small storage unit facility. Interesting. Then back toward a townhouse complex. He parked, went inside. So this was where he really lived. Not some condo. Not with roommates. Alone. Perfect. Back home, I started writing a letter addressed to the clinic's HR department. Inside, a detailed timeline. Evidence that 2 employees, one subordinate to the other, had been engaging in inappropriate behavior on company time, on clinic premises, and using clinic resources. Anonymous. But packed with detail. I printed a second copy and sealed it in an envelope. Labeled it with her name and left it in her glove box. I wanted her to know someone was watching. That it wasn't just between Mark and Melissa anymore. The fuse was lit. That night, over dinner, she mentioned him casually. He might move departments, she said. Politics at work, you know? I raised my eyebrows. Oh yeah? Drama? She shrugged. People gossip. No. Not gossip. She knew. She'd found the envelope. Now she was scrambling. The next morning, she didn't go to work. She said she was sick. I knew better. She was trying to figure out who'd sent the warning. Too late. I had already mailed the real letter. Registered. Signature required. And I didn't stop there. I created a backup package, digital copy, full report, and scheduled it to forward to their legal compliance inbox in 72 hours unless I cancelled it. Insurance. Thursday afternoon, her world started to collapse. She came home early. Red eyes. Silent. She didn't speak until after dinner. Then, as I was cleaning up, she stood by the doorway and said it flat. They suspended me. Pending investigation. I didn't turn around. Just kept rinsing the dishes. They got an anonymous complaint, she added. With files. Photos. Messages. She paused. It was you, wasn't it? I dried my hands, faced her calmly. You gambled everything from motel sheets and secret texts. Now you shocked the house is burning? She blinked, caught between anger and shame. You don't understand. I cut her off. No, Melissa. I finally do. That night, she packed a bag and said she'd be staying with her sister for a while. I didn't argue. Just watched her drive off. Then I poured myself a drink and opened the backup file one last time. Didn't need it anymore. I deleted the auto forward. I'd already won. A week later, a lawyer called. Not mine, hers. She wanted to talk settlement. I agreed. We met once. I was calm. Clinical. She offered the house. She wanted a clean break. I had only one condition, a notarized admission that she had broken marital trust and used her work to facilitate a long-term affair. She hesitated. Then signed. I thought that would be the end. But months later, I heard through a mutual friend, Mark had been quietly let go. No severance. Blacklisted from other clinics. Melissa moved out of state. New phone number. No contact with the kids. I never stopped her. End of 5th chapter. What I learned. Betrayal doesn't always show up loud. Sometimes it comes in a whisper at 2:11 a.m. And if you ignore it, it grows. I didn't just save myself from a broken marriage. I reclaimed my dignity. Quietly. Strategically. With eyes open. And no apologies.